Get out my special ops suit, Jody.
It looks like a fancy party is about to start. This kind of party is a first for me. Mr. President?
Okay, let's party! Welcome to the White House.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to my Day 1 port review of Metal Wolf Chaos XD. This is an enhanced port of the original title that came out back in 2004 for Japan only. And you can kind of see why. It's a little ridiculous, but you're also shooting American troops here. Maybe that was also why. But basically, it was an attempt to boost Xbox sales back in the East, because Xbox, kind of a Western-focused console. Japan, not too into that. They like their PlayStations, they like their RPGs. But they also like their mechs, so this was an attempt by Microsoft to sell more Xbox systems in Japan, and... well, I can't really talk to you about sales figures now, because it's kind of irrelevant, but I will say this, is that... aesthetically, this game is pretty dope to play today, in that you're playing as the President of the United States, and you're trying to stop a coup by the Vice President, and you're in a giant mech suit. And the English voice acting you're hearing right here, that's from the original game. So they dubbed it in English for the Japanese audience, and they just never decided to localize it. I don't know why. Again, maybe because you're shooting American troops, who knows. But the port, Metal Wolf Chaos XD, it's like this enhanced edition with, you know, widescreen support, full HD resolutions, up to 4K from what I've read, 16:9. Now this version, unfortunately, runs at 30 FPS still, and it's got a couple of problems from the original that have not been fixed. Or really, I guess they lazily wanted to preserve them, so let's get out of here. First off is the sound design. Let me demonstrate this. Now, the music's very nice, the voice acting is goofy as hell, but the gun sound effects are terrible. You hear that? Now, I'm gonna fire the shotgun, you know, give you some clean hearings here, and... what? That's not even a word, but let's just do this. You hear that sound? Like, when you're far away, it's muffled when you get a kill. And then when you're close up, it's like a really compressed, distorted punching sound.
Mr. President, the fuselage damage rate is above...
It sounds awful. Now, this game does support surround sound, so maybe, I don't know, it might sound better on a home theater system than headphones, but I highly doubt that. The biggest problem I'm having is that 30 FPS lock, though. It's just, for a character action game like this, where you're running around shooting, it just feels more sluggish than it should. And what's worse is the mouse control. Like, you just have this, like, wavy effect when you move your mouse around. Movement otherwise on the keyboard and mouse is fine, but it's just... it just doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel tight enough. So, sound design hasn't been fixed. Frame rate, you know, I get it. The game's physics were tied to the frame rate. This is like an older kind of game thing, and some developers unfortunately still do this when making games for consoles, especially in Japan, but they've been getting better with it, and it's just such a letdown for it to be locked at 30. And, you know, I get it. There's not much you could do aside from, you know, porting it over to a different engine, maybe. It's just kind of a bummer, but you can get used to it.
The aircraft hangar is behind the barrier. I'll open the barrier now. Please wait a moment.
So yeah, sound, not so good. Frame rate, not so good. Aiming kind of sucks. And the general gunplay is just... again, because it coincides with the sound and the aiming, it's just lacking. So when you hit middle mouse button here, you get a full range of weapons at your selection that you can have equipped. So if you hit left mouse button, you can cycle between your left guns, right side guns. Does it tell you this in game? No, there's no prompts or anything like that. You have to pretty much go to the options menu to see what you can do, and, well... you know, here's our options menu. It, for some reason, takes a while to load. I don't know why. You have to go through, like, different menus, and then, you know, have to go through this black screen, and, you know, okay, you can select your sound, which is, you know, sound, voice, and music. You know, those are separate. Those are nice. Gameplay. You know, HUD, types, subtitles, progressive autosave, which is nice. Graphics options, bare bones. Not even an anti-aliasing option. A little disappointing. Display options, you know, you can go past 1080p. You got a borderless windowed mode, which is cool. You also can manually select your display, and your key bindings, which are fully rebindable, which is nice. Again, you're not going to be able to do much about the controls because the settings for those just kind of suck. Mouse settings, mouse sensitivity, no matter what I put this at, just doesn't fix those weird issues I'm having. It's like almost like an acceleration invert view that's on, you know, gamepad control types. Yeah, you know, whatever. So, when you're remastering an older game, maybe it had a couple problems technically, or maybe it wasn't as great as some other titles, like, let's say, Armored Core, that came out at the time. You know, you have the opportunity to polish up some parts of it to make it a lot better. Like, if you want to just replay this game for nostalgia, go ahead. I mean, it's basically unchanged. But I expect more than just a widescreen patch, right? I mean, it is nice if they actually ported over the game. It wasn't originally on PC. But, you know, it's not like Battlefront 1 where it was already on PC. You just needed to download an ISO online. You didn't just plop code on Steam. There was actually effort to put this on PC in the first place. And next-gen consoles. But there's more of an expectation when you do something like this. Yeah. The core gameplay is kind of repetitive because of the controls and the sound. You're just not getting much out of it. You don't feel like you're getting that... You don't feel like you're piloting a mech. Which kind of sucks. Like, it's a mech game and you don't really feel like you're really in control or you're really having the time you want to. I mean, the story's ridiculous and fun, so you'd think, like, how could they screw that up? But it's just this. Like, you're seeing the whole enchilada right here. Mindless fun, you know, it still can be fun. And I can see a lot of people liking this. I don't think it's worth $25, though. I think that is... It's just a weird situation where, you know, there's obviously a lot of work put into just getting an old game like this to run on PC. But, like, you didn't fix, like, the easier parts, which are, like, audio. Like, I mean, there's got to be, like, some uncompressed or some better audio files on someone's computer. I mean, unless you smash the hard drive, it's out there somewhere, just like the source code. That's how I assumed you fixed this game. And the audio even cuts out at some points. Like, sometimes characters are talking during a cutscene, and it just completely goes silent. And then other times, you'll have moments where, this is especially highlighted in the second mission, where you're playing the game, and, like, I don't know, your character will do an animation, or something will happen, and there just will be no sound. Like, all his guns will come out in a cutscene, and it's just dead silent. It's really, really bizarre. I mean, you know, minor gripes aside, it's a functional port, it's a stable port, it's not buggy. If you like the original game, and you just want to play it again digitally on PC, go for it. It's not that bad, but I really can't recommend this one at, you know, $25 to any other consumer. And I was really hyped for this game, because oh man, the marketing was great. You know, Mech America great again. You play as a president. It's Japanese American, which I always love, meaning that it's a Japanese interpretation of what America is, which is always ridiculous and over the top. If you want, like, something more kind of like that, like ridiculous and with mechs, and something with a good PC port, relatively, EDF5 is $60. But I'd rather go back to playing that than any more of this, because honestly, the shooting is just really, really repetitive. I mean, you know, it's got its charm. You can equip different weapons, you can upgrade them. But, like, you know, like, the shotgun especially just sounds terrible. Like, a lot of the guns, like, just not limited to the shotgun sound terrible, but that gun in particular, which I was looking forward to using, was just... It's just awful. It's a functional port, but don't expect anything else, and honestly, I would expect more for $25. But anyway, that's it for me. Day 1 port review, guys. Metal Wolf Chaos XD, $24.99. I'd wait for a sale, honestly. I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.